Hello, I'm Mr. Marsden. In this video, I'd like to talk about depth. In art, depth refers to the distance between objects, how near or far away things are. You may have heard of terms like perspective and depth of field. To understand depth, we also have to look at the rule of thirds, first proposed by John Thomas Smith in 1797. The rule of thirds can be applied to almost all visual arts, including paintings, drawings, photographs, graphic designs, and illustrations. In the rule of thirds theory, we use a 9-square grid. When the horizontal and vertical lines meet, this gives us an area of interest in an artwork. Areas of interest would usually be placed around these specific points to make artworks more visually stimulating. Our grid handily has 3 horizontal rows. We can use these to easily locate the foreground, midground, and background. All of these elements combined together help form a composition, which means where objects are placed. I know that was a lot of information to remember, so let's look at an example. Here's a painting by John Constable. This is an example of a very traditional landscape painting, and with our rule of thirds grid, we can clearly locate the foreground, the objects closest to us, the midground, objects in the middle of the painting, such as the house, and the background, the objects that are furthest away from us, in this painting, the clouds in the sky. Where the horizontal and vertical lines meet, we also have clusters of objects that are visually interesting, such as the cows or flock of birds. These elements combined means that Constable was able to paint a convincing depth of field and a sense of perspective. Here's a painting by Van Gogh. Can you apply the rule of thirds to this painting? Is there an obvious foreground, midground, and background creating a sense of depth? Sometimes artists do break the rules. Here's a drawing by Pearl Alcock. When we add our rule of thirds grid, does it work in the same way the Constable painting did? It would seem in this composition all of the interesting areas are located in the middle. Is there an obvious foreground, midground, and background? This interesting choice of composition can create an uncomfortable feeling for the viewer, suggesting the artwork is of a serious tone. Do you think the rule of thirds can be applied to photographs, still lifes, or even portraits? Have a go at applying this rule to the next piece of art that you see, and this might help you to understand depth within artworks.